Hey there, podcast listeners. This is Reson Sindiyo, a practicing counseling psychologist. I am so excited to share with you my new podcast series called Mentally Speaking. In this exciting and very interactive podcast series, I will be holding conversations with invited guests on matters to do with mental health. Now, this podcast series will allow you, as the listener, to hear great life lessons and diverse insights on matters regarding mental health. I believe that there's something to be learned from everyone's life experience. Knowing that your journey can help someone, somewhere, somehow, will create a sense of hope and help demystify the misconceptions often associated with mental health. So, podcast listeners, you may be wondering, why mental health? Now, mental health simply means to be in a state of well-being where you are able to recognize your abilities, able to cope with the normal life stressors, able to work productively and make a contribution to your community. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Basically, mental health is how we think, how we feel, and how we act. Today, I am so excited to be hosting Emma, a fellow counseling psychologist. Emma Kanyara has 7 years' experience as a therapist. She strives to create a warm and welcoming environment for her clients and promote a safe space for healing. She works from a systematic, collaborative, strength-based therapeutic approach to help clients acknowledge the various unique contexts which impact their lives, connect with their strengths, and learn new ways to live in wholeness. Emma utilizes various therapeutic approaches, including family system, positive psychology, and psychodynamic theories for the therapists out there who are able to understand what those systems are. Emma enjoys working with individuals of all ages, backgrounds, abilities, and is an LGBTQ friendly therapist. LGBTQ, for those who are not aware with the terminology, it is lesbian, gays, bisexual, transsexual, and queers. Her areas of interest include anxiety, transitions and adjustments, identity development, parenting skills, and family therapy. Emma is also a trainer of trainers, training in counseling psychology, and a supervisor to fellow counselors. Emma is married and a mom of 3 amazing, beautiful children. So welcome, Emma. I'm so excited to have you here. I can hardly wait to begin.
Thank you. I'm equally excited. This is a good opportunity. Glad to be here.
Thank you, Emma. Now, before we start and dive right into the intricacies of mental health, I will just quote a research that was done so I can get your feedback on it. Now, according to a research done by Knapp and Whitefield in 2007, it states that given the numerous health issues affecting people in developing and low-source countries, the issue of mental health has often been considered a lower priority. Yet even high-income countries have similarly deprioritized mental health and dedicated far fewer resources to mental health than to physical health. It says that the vast majority of countries allocate less than 1% of their health budgets to mental health. Now, Emma, being a practicing counseling psychologist and having interacted with clients dealing with mental health issues, what is your take on these findings?
Well, I realize that well, it's true that mental health is quite underfunded.
Yeah.
Not taken care of.
Yeah.
In terms of there's no highlight on it, and unfortunately it is not widely accepted, but there is need for it. And I'm glad that in recent times, even here in Kenya, going by what happened during the COVID times, and at least a helpline was dedicated to such, counselors were put in place, at least that information got out there, and people understood that this is not, when we speak about mental health, it's not what we commonly know as mad people, you know, so that people shun it because they think they are not mad. Mental health is just how are you psychologically? Are you doing well? Are you coping well? Are you able to do the things that you used to do? Is something overwhelming you? All that is mental well.
Yeah.
So we are going the right way, but there's need to do more.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I like the fact that you have tried to distinguish between mental health and mental illness. That you've said often people associate mental health with being mad or being, bipolar or schizophrenia. Can you tell us more about the difference between mental health and mental illness?
Mental health encompasses how you think, how you feel, and which will in turn affect how you behave.
Yes.
So the three of them interact with each other.
Yes.
It does not necessarily mean that you will need medicine to either calm yourself down or control how you're feeling. It means that there's something overwhelming that you may need to work through so that you get better.
Okay.
So it doesn't entail you going to the hospital and getting these meds that will treat a mental illness. There's the branch for that.
Yeah.
And there are people who are unwell in terms of illness.
Yeah.
But there are also people who are unwell in terms of just how they feel and how they are unable to cope with their situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, could you please share with our podcast listeners your experience in dealing with your own mental health challenges?
Well, one of the things that I work on is self-awareness, connecting with myself, just so that I can feel where am I in terms of how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what are my recent behaviors. You know, I know there are times when a person would feel something is wrong, but they can't quite put a finger. So for me, I take some me time. Me time is me being alone with myself and checking on myself, like what's going on? How am I feeling? What is making me feel like this? Then what can I do about it? So when the what can I do about it part comes in is where now I have to deal with this with my own mental health. So one of the ways is I speak to a trusted person. So I know people will tell you, no, I've been speaking to people and this has happened. Word got out, my secrets were spewed all over. That's why I am underlining the word trusted. Speak to a trusted friend, a person you know who will be there for you and not against you. If you don't have that, speak to a professional. A counselor comes in handy then. So I have a list of counselors that I can speak to. I also have a number of trusted friends. If it has then gotten to a level where I cannot manage, then I have relaxation techniques. Like I like listening to music. I like dancing, going for walks, being in a quiet place, connecting with family. Those are some of the ways that I handle
your mental health.
my hand.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that, Emma. I've heard you say that your mental health, when you feel overwhelmed, you are in a state of self-awareness to identify that there's something happening that is not in quotes normal within me. So you're talking about your thoughts, you're talking about your feelings, and you're talking about your emotions. They're not in tandem. And as you said, when you are talking about mental health and what it's not, we have and compared to mental illness, we've identified that those three things, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, determine how we behave. And you also mentioned that when you see that your pattern of behavior has changed, you know that there's probably something that is not going well. Can you give us an example of that? Because pattern of behavior can some people may take it that every morning I wake up, I first brush my teeth, and then I have breakfast, but today I woke up and had breakfast and then brushed my teeth. So can you tell us about the change of behavior?
It can be something as simple as being overly forgetful.
Okay.
Like, I am to do something and then I've forgotten. I'm to pick up my child and it seems I got something in the mix there, so I didn't do that on time. It could be something as simple as just feeling melancholic.
Okay.
Out of nowhere I feel sad. I feel teary. That raises a question, what's going on?
Yeah.
It can also be something as simple as I'm walking around and I keep tripping on things. That means I'm not keen. My brain must be overwhelmed by something. So what's going on?
Yeah.
Having no interest in some of the things that I enjoy. So yes, I could skip breakfast, but it's because today I'm not feeling it. And it's something that I enjoy. Maybe it's, for example, an egg. And today I'm not feeling it, tomorrow I'm not feeling it, what's going on here? So those are some of the things. They don't have to be large flags.
Yes.
Small things that you normally enjoy, that you normally do, or things that are not working the way they used to.
Yeah.
Those are things that can raise like a flag and you ask yourself, what's going on? Yeah, what's happening?
Okay.
Moving from there to other bigger things like you don't want to go to work, or work is not enjoyable anymore, or there's an instance where you can look at a person and you feel so much hatred for them because either there's something that transpired, so it could be a range of things. So then when you speak to a professional, you can come down to what's causing you this stress, and then you can pin down what the problem is, and from there when you know the problem, it's easy to find a solution for it.
Okay. So one has to be aware. One has to be on the lookout.
Yes.
And can we even add in the change of behavior? We can say sleeping too much or no sleep at all. Eating too much or not eating at all. Moodiness, you've talked about melancholy, being moody, or being hyperactive, or being somebody that even your friends start saying, oh, but what is wrong with Emma nowadays? And maybe, Emma, I can also share this with the podcast listeners. There's also this thing we do as friends or family or whatever community we are in, that if I know Emma is this kind of person, Emma is outgoing, she's always bubbly, she's happy, she's proactive, and then suddenly Emma has no loss of or interest. She has withdrawn. She is always moody. And what we tend to do is we start labeling Emma. We say Emma has changed. She's so moody. Emma is so difficult. Ananibo, I don't want anything to do with her. But we don't approach Emma and find out what is happening. Have you, what can you say about that trait that most of us really have?
I'd say that in the spirit of being your brother's keeper or your sister's keeper, a phone call is not enough, or an observation is not enough, because what you've described is an observation. I look at someone and I'm drawing conclusions already. I'm the judge and the jury. I have decided that they're either being boastful. Nowadays, they don't want to associate. But this is not how this person was. And there's need to find out what has happened. Okay? And if indeed they are boastful, if you ask them, they will indicate that in their speech. And that's okay too. If that's the path they want to take, that is fine. But if you really want to be a friend or somebody who cares, call them up. And sometimes it's not enough, because you can call me and I'll say I'm fine while I'm crying. I prefer that you actually visit this person. Sit down with them, because then you will see everything. They will not be able to hide and say I'm okay while they're still
because
crying.
you now be face to face,
Now
and
you
you can
will
read
see
the
it.
body language.
Yes, now you will see it. So
okay.
if you call and you still can't reach them, please visit this person.
Okay.
Find out how they are from them.
Okay.
And if indeed they want to draw boundaries, they don't want to be your friend anymore, it will be clear at that point.
Or
and
they
it
don't
is
want
okay.
even to talk about it.
Yes. So it's okay. Whatever you find there is what is.
Okay.
Now deal with it from there. If they don't want to be friends anymore, accept it. If now you find out that they are having issues, you can get them help.
Okay.
Counselors are such people you can get help from.
Okay.
You can contact maybe the immediate family, see how that can help.
Yeah.
Or see what you as a friend can do.
Okay.
Yeah, but we need to stop that of being judge and jury.
Yes.
That's because we are noticing something, we are not sure what it is, but we decide we know what it is. I'd rather you just see this person face to face, get to find out.
Okay.
And if you find there's something wrong and they don't want to talk about it, then open that door. Just open it and say, I'm here for you. When you're ready to talk, call me.
Okay.
And please, when you do that, mean it.
Yeah.
Because this person will probably need you at a time you don't expect them to need you.
Like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, or 3. Or they'll expect you to drive, I don't know where, that's where they're stuck at. So when you say you are willing to be there, be honest about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when do you know that you need professional help? And by this, I mean like by talking to a therapist. What are the signs and symptoms that you identify with, and you say my support system is not working? Because we identify that as one of the coping mechanisms.
Yes.
There's a support system, there's the walks, there's the listening to music, meditating. When all this is not working, how and probably the next logical step would be to see a therapist, but I'm talking from a therapist point of view. Most people out there will have no clue. What would you say the signs and symptoms are that this person should seek professional help?
One of the biggest signs would be that it's something that you cannot speak to anyone about. Because there are things that we harbor that I'm uncomfortable speaking to anyone about. Because maybe I feel they will judge me. Or it's embarrassing. It could be a traumatic event. It could be something I'm ashamed of myself. So even telling someone else is not working. It could be something that impacts on my social system. So it could be something I'm going through with my mom, my sister, my friend. So I find it hard now to tell another sister or even an aunt. Now that is a good time to see a therapist.
Okay.
And especially if it's overwhelming you.
Yes.
If it's making me not live day by day the way I am used to or the way I want to.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because therapists don't just talk. They have a way, they have techniques, they have theories. There is all that. It's work. It's work. It's not the conversation I would have with a friend now. It has surpassed that. Because by the time most people even go to see a therapist, they have really talked about it. Yet there is no solution. But the good thing is that there is no problem without a solution. But at times we get to that point where we feel there is no solution. There is no way out. Now that is another point. That is another point to see a therapist. When you feel now I'm done. There is no way out.
Mm.
I have talked to so and so.
Yeah.
I have tried ABCD, and
Yeah.
all that is not working.
Yeah.
I am done.
Okay.
And usually that might lead to hopelessness.
Yes.
And when that happens, depression
Yes.
can set in.
Yes.
And depression is a really, really serious illness.
Yeah. So that now becomes, from mental health challenges, it has crossed to mental illness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. So
Yeah.
the minute you feel like you're closed in, too overwhelmed, can't speak to anyone you know of, this is a good time to seek counselling from a professional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Emma. I like the way you really made it very, very basic. I've had, when some of the feelings or emotions you've mentioned is when you feel too ashamed to talk about it, when you feel that your confidentiality will be broken, when you're feeling too vulnerable to share, when there's fear because you don't know how the information you're giving will be taken, when there's a sense of desperation, like helplessness, hopelessness, those are the times that you need professional help.
Yes.
And I like also the fact that you've mentioned, when you go to a therapist, they have the knowledge, the background information, the tools and skills to help you that your social support system may lack.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Emma. That was, even when as you were talking, I was like, wow, okay. Okay, now could you kindly briefly define what therapy is? Yeah,
Okay.
and again, though you've mentioned it briefly, why is it necessary? What is therapy and why is it necessary? And the reason I'm asking this, Emma, is because people have this take, why should I pay somebody to listen to my problems?
Yes.
Why should I go share with a stranger my issues and challenges? See, I can just talk to somebody and they'll be over. And what if this person goes and shares whatever, and how do I know even this person is qualified? Let me just stay with my problems, I'll pray, and God will see me through. I'm not discounting that God is part of the healing process for whoever believes, but can you give our listeners just a very basic and way of looking at it? Yeah, without the stigma attached. Yeah.
Okay. Therapy, which is usually interchanged with counseling, so it's one and the same. So if you ever see that word somewhere, it means the same thing.
Yeah.
So counseling entails a relationship, a professional relationship between a client and a counselor. And the counselor or psychologist is a person who has put in work for it. They have gone to school for it. So we have different levels. You will get from diploma, going to degree, masters, PhDs, and additional courses to suit the different fields. It is a wide field, and we have different psychologists. So we have counseling psychologists, this is us. You can get a social psychologist, a developmental psychologist, clinical psychologist, depending with the needs that you have.
Yeah.
For us, counseling psychologists, we deal with psychosocial issues. Psychosocial issues are day-to-day issues.
Okay.
Stress from work, losses, all types of losses, be it relationship, work, loss of property, illnesses, like terminal illnesses, new illnesses,
Yes.
life-limiting illnesses like the TB, diabetes.
Yes.
We have anything you can think of that can bring you a problem in your social circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. For teenagers, it can be something like a pimple on their face, and they cannot get out of the house because of that pimple. And for them, it is too much. It could be this young man who's always thought himself as handsome, and now he's 50 years old. He has wrinkles, and he's wondering, what is this? Because maybe his job is modeling.
Yes.
Now he feels old.
Yeah.
What becomes of them? It can be the retirement plan. So what counseling does is that we take this issue that you have brought. If I can paint a picture of it, it will be a person coming with a jumbled yarn of thread, very jumbled. So in there is their confusion. They sometimes don't know what's troubling them. Sometimes they do, because a person can come and say, I have been having trouble sleeping. Okay, that's a jumbled thread right there. So we need to untangle that and make it a long straight string. So counseling does that.
Okay.
And I know people,
it makes sense of the mess in
that
your head, in your life, in your feelings. Okay.
We try and discern that, remove everything so that we can see. So you're having sleepless nights. When did it begin? What has been happening? And then now we can find the problem.
Okay.
So usually counseling will help you find what the issue is. And the counselor and the client work on a way that the client can help themselves.
Okay.
That they can come with a solution that is comfortable for them.
Moving
on. Help them make decisions, because sometimes a lot of issues come about with us not being able to make decisions, not being able to identify our dilemmas. So counseling walks you through that.
Okay.
Counseling entails change. There must be change. We must identify what we need to change, because we can't keep doing things the way we were doing them. This is what is causing this problem. So there's need to be change. Now, the backbone of counseling is confidentiality. Whatever is spoken in a counseling room remains there. Of course, there are a few limits that are sanctioned by the law, but in essence, everything that is spoken there remains there.
Okay.
Actually, if this client doesn't want to be known, they're seeing a counselor, you agree during the session that if I meet you on the street, what happens? If my client says, act like you don't know me, this is the way we do it, because it's about my client. It's about what they need, how they can get better.
Okay.
So counseling offers a safe place. I call it a sacred place, because a lot can be said there. Things that have not been said before can be said there. And it is a safe place. I will keep that for my client. We actually leave all that we have spoken about in that room as we leave. I go about my life, we go back, we come back next time to meet. So it's a professional field. It is backed by very sound education, ethics. Okay, so we are bound by ethics. We can't just do things haphazardly. We are bound by confidentiality and the fact that we acknowledge that our client is the boss here. So it's not about telling the client what to do. We work with the client as per how they are. So that is what it does. So why is it necessary? Counseling aims at helping an individual to deal and overcome with issues that are causing psychological and emotional pain. So anything that disturbs your feelings, anything that is disturbing your health, such that you can't eat, you can't think straight, you're not even seeing way forward. This is why counseling is there. So it will help one attain relief, even if it's just from the emotional pain. And we get emotional pain, we see people calling us, venting. And if we are honest, if you are not working from a counseling background, you can get overwhelmed by a person calling you and telling you what's happening. And you can even get down yourself, because if you don't have the skills to cope with it, you won't. And unfortunately, what that does is that I get sympathetic. Now when I'm sympathetic, I cannot help my friend. So we both get in the same hole. So we sit and cry together. And I'm feeling her pain as much as she is. And now we both of us are hopeless. We can't move forward. You remember when I said sometimes when it's beyond you and you've spoken to people, this is that point. Because now you've spoken to people, but you're all in the same hole. What a counselor does is that they're empathetic as opposed to being sympathetic. They walk in your shoe, but they're not in those shoes exactly. So they're able to see it almost from an aerial point of view. Like, also we're in this hole. Can we climb out by making a stairway out of the mud? Can we shout for help? Then you brainstorm on what to do.
Wow, thank you so much, Emma. I mean, what I've taken from it is that, again, there's confidentiality, there's empathy. This counselor is not going to judge you. This counselor is not there to advise you. You, as the counseling psychologist, you're there to identify the skills and the tools within the client
Yes.
that will help the client help themselves.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Emma. Now, you have talked that you have been for therapy, you have shared that you have been for therapy, and I'm wondering, how was the experience for you as a client and not a counseling psychologist?
It's a very humbling experience, actually.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And it helped me understand how difficult it can be for a client to come see me. It takes courage.
Yes.
It takes courage.
Yes.
And what I like to tell people is that actually counseling is not for the weak.
Yeah.
Anybody who goes for counseling is not a weak person. It's not that they are.
That is very. That is a very good point that you've said. Anybody who goes for counseling is not a weak person.
They're actually strong because one, they have decided, they have admitted to themselves that, you know what, I have an issue that I'm unable to deal with. But help is on that side, and I'm going to get it.
Okay.
So already that speaks of a strong person, of a person who's aware of themselves, of a person who wants to help themselves.
Yes.
Now, you picking yourself up and going is one thing.
Yeah.
You sitting down there and opening up is quite the other.
Yeah.
So I appreciate my clients, even if they take quite a number of sessions before they open up, because I have been a client and I know building trust with a stranger is not so easy.
Yeah.
Telling them this thing that is disturbing you, because most of us know the genesis of our issues, but now we camouflage it.
Yes.
So many other things.
Yes.
We hold on to this so that we can cover.
Yeah.
Because we find the genesis of it could be something very embarrassing.
Yeah.
We are ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Something that hurt us greatly. We are unable to accept we are hurt. In fact, most people prefer to be angry. I'm angry about it. Instead of accepting that it embarrassed me, it humiliated me. We don't want to say yes. We don't want to say that. Instead, we choose anger. We choose to fight out. So, sitting there with a counselor and going to that level where I will accept that I was embarrassed. Actually, it has nothing to do with anger. It's very humbling.
Okay.
So, I appreciate myself because of having the courage to actually be a client. And from that, I also appreciate my clients because I know for them to have brought themselves there, it took courage and speaks of strength and a person who wants to change their situation.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much, Emma. You've just shared sitting on both seats, seat of a therapist and seat of a client. And I guess it gives you some, it adds on to you as a therapist because the compassion, the empathy that you have for the client is something that you have been. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, what advice would you share with our podcast listeners in regards to seeking therapy?
My take here is that therapy is good. Therapy is good. And so far the points we have mentioned about when you are overwhelmed, when you need to know yourself better, because it's not always to heal. We have therapy even for premarital, when people are about to get married. We miss out so much because we didn't bother to delve a bit deeper about this relationship you're getting into. I know there's so many books written on marriage or how to get into marriage, but you being with this person and knowing them a bit more from how they think, because this is what counseling will look at, how they think, how they feel, their reasons for getting married. You will find that some couples actually don't end up getting married. They were doing it for the wrong reasons. And some now will be able to begin on a good note because now they understand each other a bit better. Counseling can also help you self-improve. Okay? So it's not just about problems.
Yes.
It can help you self-improve.
Yes.
You need to study better. You need to choose a career. You can see a career counselor. They will help. They will walk you through it.
Yeah.
Married people do go for counseling, and not because they're having issues.
Yeah.
There's that one, yes.
Yeah.
But there's also this one where they want to improve. They want to do it a bit better. Yes. So it's not just about problems, issues that we cannot overcome. It can also be for self-improvement. So it serves two purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it gives you a window for growth, even in those problems. If you go there for counseling, as I said earlier, there's need for change.
Yes.
How will you change? Okay. There is need for you to find a solution. As you find this solution, there will be need for growth. So you cannot enter therapy and come out the same.
Yes.
It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Even if you choose not to change, you will know there is need for change.
Okay.
And that there is also growth.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Even if you choose not to take in what you have shared, the skills and tools that you have learned in counseling, at least you acknowledge that there's need to change. And right there's growth.
That is growth. Because you will know something that you did not know.
Yes.
Even us demystifying your problem, making it clearer. There is growth there because you have already known what ails me.
Identified.
I have identified where the problem is.
Yeah.
So
once you identify, you become accountable.
Yes. And you're able to make decisions better.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You are more aware. Even if you go back to previous behaviors, you are aware that you're going back to a previous behavior that is bringing you problems.
Okay.
That is enough growth.
Okay.
As it is, you have moved. Yes, you have moved.
Wow. Hey, I don't even want to finish, and it looks like we're about to conclude. So, Emma, what would your final words be in regards to mental health and just making it a more friendly topic or an approachable subject that people should embrace or would benefit them to embrace?
I'd say look at mental health care like self-care.
Okay.
You know how I find my hair is untidy, I want to go to the salon, I need to do my nails.
Yes.
I need to get an education for this life. I'm unwell, so I need to go see a doctor. I can't just sit at home. Take it on the same breath.
Okay.
Take mental wellness on the same breath. Just like when you look at yourself in the mirror and you decide, no, I need to dress better for this occasion. The occasion is our lives. The occasion is us being alive and living.
Yeah.
And if we don't take care of our mental health, then even our physical health is at stake.
Exactly.
There's something called psychosomatic illnesses. These illnesses where the person goes to the hospital and there's pain on my back, there's pain on my neck, then my tummy, and then my back. And the doctor examines you thoroughly and there is nothing.
Yeah.
Usually that doctor will tell you, go see a counselor. Because your problems are mental related. It's in your head. It's how you're thinking, it's how you're feeling. And because you're not addressing it, it's showing up on our bodies.
Yes.
So my advice here is that the way we take care of our nails, our education, the way we bother to eat, we also need to bother about how we feel and how we think.
Okay.
And therefore take care of our mental health.
Okay.
We have we have many counselors. The good thing is that we have many in Kenya. We can't say that we don't have.
Yes.
We have many.
Yes.
What you need is just to take, even Google will guide you if you have no one. A podcast like this one directs you to a number of counselors that you can get in touch with. So do it. Let's normalize taking care of our mental health.
Yes.
Let's normalize it. It's not a crime. And as I said, it's not a mental illness.
Yes.
It's not mother case. And even if it is, you're better off having gone to take meds than waiting for it to escalate until then you can't take care of yourself anymore. And you're institutionalized. And even if that happens, it's okay, but at least you're getting help.
True.
The other thing would be like, as Kenyans, can we accept that it's okay not to be okay?
Thank you.
There's times where we are not okay, and it is okay.
Yeah.
So let's not make it like, this one has problems all the time. This one can't cope with life. This one, it happens. And it happens to the best of us. So let's accept that it is okay not to be okay.
Okay.
Give ourselves some break. Understand that we don't have to be perfect. Understand we all have flaws.
Yes.
We have our good days, we have our bad days. And if your friend has a bad day, be there for them or show them where they can get help.
Okay.
And for us ourselves, let us acknowledge that sometimes the bad days are really, really bad and we need help.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Emma. I've heard you say we need to be more compassionate with ourselves, kinder, and more aware. So, you've heard the challenge, the final words from Emma, who has put it very, very plainly. I challenge you, dear podcast listeners, to make your mental health a priority. And just as Emma said, just as you strive to look your best on the outside, ensure that you feel your best on the inside and make this a personal undertaking. Be accountable to your mental health. And remember, in the course of a lifetime, not all people will experience a mental illness, but everyone will struggle or have a challenge with their mental health well-being. I am Reson Sindiyo, a counseling psychologist, and you've been listening to my Mentally Speaking podcast conversations. You can find me on the Anchor platform under Spotify, and you can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And please, 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 don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe for future interactive, informative, and thought-provoking podcasts like we've just had with Emma. So join me next time for another Mentally Speaking Conversation podcast. Thank you for listening. Do take care and stay safe.